योग भी सीखते हैं। वैसे हम ब्रह्मा कुमारीज में आते हैं, एवरी संडे आप आते हैं और बहुत सुंदर रीति से यहाँ का वाइब्रेशंस भी लेते हैं और साथ साथ योग भी सीखते हैं, जिससे मेंटल इक्विलिब्रियम भी हो और फिजिकली हेल्दी भी रहे। इसके लिए योग भी अभ्यास करते हैं। तो आज चलिए हम और भी आगे बढ़ेंगे कार्यक्रम में। आज हमारा सौभाग्य है हमारे बीच में ऑनररी ब्रदर, our dear brother Shri Jayesh Ranjan ji, IAS, amongst us. Let's welcome brother onto the stage, please. I also welcome Rajayogini Brahma Kumari Kuldeep didi ji, who is the host. और आज हमारे बीच में दोनों महान व्यक्तित्व है, तो हम सब करतल ध्वनि से वेलकम करेंगे दोनों का। हम सभी जानते हैं वेयर वी आर, इट्स एन IT हब और गच्चीबौली हाईटेक सिटी। आज हम सब देखते हैं IT के कारण बहुत पूरे विश्व में नामी ग्रामी कर दिया है। हमारे आदरणीय भाई साहब ने, जयेश रंजन जी, who is the Principal Secretary, Industries and Commerce and Information Technology Departments of Government of Telangana, बहुत ही अनन्य हमारे भ्राता जी है, जो बहुत समय से करीब 30 सालों से ब्रह्मा कुमारी से परिचित है और ब्रह्मा कुमारी इसके कार्यों में आप सदा आगे रहकर और बहुत कुशलतापूर्वक कार्यक्रमों का लाभ भी उठाया है और सभी को लाभ देने के लिए आप निमित्त बने हैं। तो आज यहाँ पर आपका आना बहुत खुशी का दिन है हमारे लिए। और भाई साहब, ये संडे इवनिंग टॉक प्रोग्राम है जो एवरी संडे वी आर होल्डिंग, एंड दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द रेगुलर सीरीज ऑफ प्रोग्राम्स इन शांति सरोवर. Past 11 years this program is going on every Sunday, and these are different fields, especially IT department brothers and sisters who are working in different companies. They come every week and take lot of benefit and lot of vibrations from this place. So this is a nice refreshment for them mentally, because lot of tension, stress, and this is the place where they get lot of inputs to get relief from all those things. So today we are having you here, and it's very fortunate day. Thank you for being here and spending your valuable time amongst us. आप सब जानते ही हैं कुलदीप दीदी जी, जो यहाँ के डायरेक्टर भी है और प्यारी दीदी है, जो माँ के स्वरूपा है, हम सभी के लिए पालना दे रहे हैं और हम सभी को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, ऐसा स्थान बनाने के लिए बहुत अच्छे से निमित्त बने हैं परमात्मा के द्वारा। तो दीदी भी आज हमारे साथ में उपस्थित है, हम सभी को ब्लेसिंग्स देंगे। तो आज हम सोचते हैं कि भाई साहब खास यहाँ पर आए हैं और भाई साहब का परिचय भी हम सुनेंगे और कैसे वो ब्रह्मा कुमारी से जुड़े हैं और क्या उनका यहाँ पर रोल रहा है। तो हम सुनते हैं वंशी भाई के द्वारा। वंशी भाई को भी आप सब जानते हैं, सीनियर ब्रदर है शांति सरोवर का, और बहुत सारे कार्यक्रमों में आप परमात्मा के राइट हैंड बनकर सेवाएं दे रहे हैं। तो भाई साहब हमको सुनाएंगे पहले।
ओम शांति। हमारा आदरणीय भाई साहब जयेश रंजन जी को, कुलदीप दीदी को, आप सभी को फिर से स्वागत है इस ब्यूटीफुल कैंपस ब्यूटीफुल प्रोग्राम में। जयेश रंजन जी के बारे में कितना बताए उतना कम है, क्योंकि उनका लाइफ ही इतना आदर्श है। जहाँ तक मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा सुनते आए भाई साहब के बारे में, थोड़ा सा अगर आपसे भी शेयर करूँगा। भाई साहब लखनऊ यूपी से है एंड बहुत ही एक साधारण फैमिली से जन्म हुआ है उनका। बहुत उनका एकदम ग्राउंड टू नेचर भी बहुत ग्राउंड टू अर्थ है। उनको मेहनत क्या है ज़िंदगी का, लाइफ का क्या तकलीफ़ है, क्योंकि उनके पेरेंट्स से बहुत सारे वैल्यूज़ उन्होंने सीखा है। भाई साहब, मैंने सुना एक स्टोरी में आपका माता जी 6 किलोमीटर तक पैदल ऑफिस जाती थी ताकि सभी से लोगों से मिलते हुए, डॉक्टर हैं भाई साहब, आपका डॉक्टर है उनका माता जी, लोगों से मिलने के लिए 6 किलोमीटर तक पैदल ऑफिस में जाते हुए सभी लोगों से मिलके उनका वैल्यूज़ और उनसे हालचाल पूछते थे। ऐसा भी हमने किसी से सुना कुछ समय पहले। और तेलुगु में उनको बोलते हैं ना प्रजला मनीषी। भाई साहब जो है लोगों का व्यक्ति है, गरीबों का व्यक्ति है उनका नेचर में, जो हमने ब्रह्म कुमारी इसमें इनका 30 साल से देखते आए हैं। थोड़ा सा वैल्यू शायद हम कुछ मिस भी करते होंगे। हम व्हाट वी हैव सीन इज कमिटमेंट, सबसे मिलजुल कर चलने वाला नेचर भी है, बहुत ही दया भाव है, बहुत काइंड हार्ट है उनका, वाइब्रेशन में आप समझ सकते हैं उनका, बहुत सर्विस मोटिव भी है। जितना साइलेंट है उतना इंट्रोवर्ट है, उतना ब्रॉड माइंडेड भी है, प्लानिंग नेचर भी है। इसलिए आज देख रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट इतना प्रोग्रेस तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट कर रहे हैं, तो उसको बैकग्राउंड में भाई साहब का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रोल है। एंड बहुत ऑब्जर्वेशन है, ग्लोबल ऑब्जर्वेशन है, इतना ग्लोबल ऑब्जर्वेशन करते हुए लोकली कैसे इंप्लीमेंट किए हैं कर सकते हैं, वो भी ये बहुत भाई साहब को है। विजन एंड टीम स्पिरिट है। कभी भी उनसे एम्प्लॉयज़ से भी जब मिलते हैं, उनका कोलीग से मिलते रहते हैं, कई बार भाई साहब को एक अपना समझते हैं, वो भी एक बहुत विशेषता है। एंड उनका बचपन से देखा जाए तो ही टॉपर इन स्टडीज़, करियर, स्पोर्ट्स में भाई साहब एक्सपर्ट है, क्रिकेट भी है, हॉकी भी है, वॉलीबॉल भी। इसलिए आई थिंक यहाँ पर भी कुछ स्पोर्ट्स होते हैं तो भाई साहब भी स्पोर्ट्स में पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं। तो IIM कोलकाता में ज्वाइन हुआ, बाद में 1992 सिविल्स में कंट्री टॉपर है भाई साहब, तो कुछ करेंगे ना। हाँ, तो और अपना तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट की प्रोग्रेस में भाई साहब का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। थोड़ा अगर एक्सप्लेन कर तो बहुत लंबा रहेगा, लेकिन मेजरली TS तेलंगाना इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी में जैसे TS IPAS है, जो आज वर्ल्ड वाइड तेलंगाना का जो फोकस आ रहा है इंडस्ट्रीज़ का, तो KTR जी का राइट हैंड बन के भाई साहब ने ही डिज़ाइन किया है। तो यस, टी हब में, डिजिटल तेलंगाना में आदि में भी भाई साहब का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रोल रहा है। एंड उनका नेचर के अनुसार इम्प्लीमेंट भी करते हैं, रिव्यू भी करते हैं, आगे भी ले जाते हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि प्लानिंग करके छोड़ना, डिसीजन लेके छोड़ना ही नहीं। तो उसका वो भी CM साहब को और KTR साहब को बहुत ही भाई साहब का क्लोज बनने का भी हो रहा है। बाकी जब ब्रह्म कुमारी के बारे में आते हैं तो 30 साल से संपर्क में भाई साहब ब्रह्म कुमारी से कड़पा में जब फर्स्ट पोस्ट हुआ, लेकिन हैदराबाद में 98 आई थिंक भाई साहब जब हुडा में थे, तब यहाँ शांति सरोवर का कंस्ट्रक्शन के बारे में, प्लांटेशन के बारे में तब से स्टार्ट हुआ। तब से लेके ऑलमोस्ट वेरी फ्रीक्वेंटली एवरी ईयर 2-3 टाइम्स मिलना होता है। माउंट आबू भी 2 बार आया है, और यहाँ पर भी बहनों से, भाइयों से बहुत प्यार से मिलते हैं। इसलिए ऐसा व्यक्तियों के बारे में भाई साहब इज़ गोइंग टू शेयर हाउ ही हैज़ डेवलप्ड दोज वैल्यूज़, अपने लिए भी कुछ इनपुट्स ताकि हम भी डेवलप कर सके। और भाई साहब आपका लाइफ का भी कुछ इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरीज पे अगर सुना सके तो बहुत अच्छा है। तो इससे पहले कुलदीप दीदी भाई साहब को ब्लेसिंग देंगे, फेलिसिटेट करेंगे, फिर भाई साहब भी हम सुनेंगे।
ओम शांति। भाई साहब के हमारे परम आदरणीय जयेश रंजन भाई साहब, जो हमारे तो भाई हैं, हमारे बड़े भाई हैं और अनुभवी हैं, और हम आपको अपने स्पिरिचुअल ब्रदर समझ कर के ही आमंत्रित करते हैं। और हमने देखा है कि भाई साहब हमेशा जब भी हम फ़ोन करते हैं, भाई साहब हम आपसे मिलना चाहते हैं, आप आज पधारिए, तो कभी भी भाई साहब कितने भी व्यस्त हों, हाँ जी दीदी मैं ज़रूर आऊँगा। और वायदे अनुसार आज आए भी। हम बहुत समय से प्रयत्न कर रहे थे कि भाई साहब को एक बार हम अपने ईश्वरीय विश्वविद्यालय में फेलिसिटेट करें सभी के बीच में। और उनके अंदर बहुत नम्र भाव है और बहुत ही सेवा की भावनाएं हैं, और ये भावनाएं उनको बहुत और आगे ले जाएंगी। आज विशेष ब्रह्मा कुमारीज़ का इंटरनेशनल मेडिटेशन डे भी है। 6:30 to 7:30 हमारे पूरे विश्व में एक ही टाइम पर योग रहता है, एवरी 3rd संडे। और आज मॉर्निंग में भी हमने जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से 21 जून को होता है, हम बिफोर संडे जो आता है उसमें हमारी विशेष बड़ी दीदी जी भी आए हुए हैं, नीचे टीचर्स का क्लास ले रहे हैं। तो आज 1600 लोग सुबह यहाँ पर मेडिटेशन एंड फिज़िकल योगा भी ग्राउंड में किए थे। तो बहुत अच्छे शुभ दिन पर, जबकि पूरा ही ये शांति सरोवर मेडिटेशन के पावरफुल वाइब्रेशन से भरपूर है। आप सब भी बहुत लकी हैं जो आज के दिन आए हैं। और हम अपने मीठे भाई साहब से कुछ सुनना चाहते हैं, लेकिन मैं अपने दिल से ये कहती हूँ कि भाई साहब आप जहाँ भी रहेंगे, आप जिस भी पोस्ट पर रहेंगे, भगवान निरंतर आपको उन्नति के शिखर पर, हिमालय की चोटी पर पहुंचाएंगे। क्योंकि जो व्यक्ति भगवान के बच्चों के लिए या ईश्वरीय कार्य को अपना समझ करके जो थोड़ा सा समय भी हम देते हैं, ये मल्टीप्लाई होकर हमको भगवान कितना देगा मालूम नहीं है। जिन्होंने भी आज का समय, जो भी, ये भी ईश्वरीय सेवा है, आपका आना भी, इस सेवा में जो थोड़ा भी समय देता है, भगवान उसको रिटर्न में इतना समय देता है। और भगवान का टाइम बहुत अमूल्य है। हमें जब भी मदद की ज़रूरत है, अगर भगवान बोल दे मेरे पास समय नहीं है आपके लिए, हमको कितना बुरा लगेगा। भगवान समय पर काम नहीं किया, मदद नहीं किया, हर समय हमारे साथ हाजिर रहता है। हमारी हाजिरी भी उनके लिए ज़रूरी है। तो भाई साहब की हाजिरी में भगवान सदा हाजिर हैं। हम यही वरदान देते, भाई साहब आप जियो हज़ारों साल और सदा आप इतना उन्नति को पाएं, लेकिन ईश्वरीय कार्य में सहयोगी सदा रहेंगे। ये हमारे पक्के भाई हैं। और आज हम अपनी बहनों से निवेदन करेंगे कि हमारे भ्राता जी का हम दिल से, प्यार से अपने परिवार में, आप सब इस परिवार के मेंबर्स हैं, तो हम अपने परिवार में अपने ही प्रिय भ्राता जी का अभिनंदन करेंगे, स्वागत करेंगे। ओम शांति।
आप सबकी करतल ध्वनि होती रहेगी और ये बहुत सारे ब्लेसिंग्स हैं परमात्मा के द्वारा, ब्रह्म कुमारीज के द्वारा, दीदियों के द्वारा और सभी परिवार के द्वारा। आप ऐसे ही आगे बढ़ते रहिए और आपके जो जीवन है दूसरों के लिए एक एग्जाम्पलरी बने और सभी को खुशी देते रहे, शक्ति देते रहे, सेवा करते रहे। तो जो विजन है तेलंगाना के प्रति, भारत के यहाँ पर गोल्डन वर्ल्ड लाने का जो परमात्मा का प्लान है, आपका भी वही प्लान है। गोल्डन वर्ल्ड बने, प्रोग्रेसिव वर्ल्ड बने, जहाँ पर हर सुख सुविधा के साथ शांति संपत्ति भी रहे। तो प्रोग्रेसिव लाइफ के लिए आप थोड़ा प्रेरणा ये भी देंगे और साथ साथ आपके लाइफ स्टोरीज भी हम सुनना चाहते हैं। आपके वैल्यूज़ का भी जो मूल है वो हम सुनना चाहते हैं भाई साहब। थैंक यू।
Respected Kuldeep didi ji, brothers and sisters of Shanti Sarovar, all the participants. ये इंग्लिश में बोलना ठीक है या हम हिंदी या तेलुगु में बोलें? Okay. But if you want, I can briefly give a summary in Telugu and English, in Hindi as well. ठीक है। तो आदरणीय कुलदीप दीदी जी, शांति सरोवर में बाकी सारी दीदियाँ, बहनें, सारे अतिथि, greetings to all of you. First of all, I am very honored that this felicitation has been organized like this. Frankly speaking, I don't really deserve all this, but nevertheless, it's a big milestone for me to have been invited here and to have been honored. जिस तरह से मेरा सम्मान किया गया है, हमें नहीं लगता है कि इतने सम्मान के हम काबिल हैं, लेकिन फिर भी मेरी ज़िंदगी का ये एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण दिन होगा इस तरह का सम्मान पाना। और मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि आप लोग इस महत्वपूर्ण मौके पे आप भी इसमें पधारे हुए हैं। సో మీకు అర్థమవుతా ఉందా? మధ్య మధ్యలో తెలుగులో కూడా చెప్పమంటారా? సో వంశీ గారు ఇందాక నా లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ చెప్పాలి, వారు కూడా ఇందాక చెప్పారు మీరు మీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ గురించి తెలియపరచండి. సో నేను గుర్తు తెచ్చుతా ఉన్నాను ఏం ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ చెప్తే బాగుంటుంది. తర్వాత నాకు సడన్గా అనిపించింది నిన్నే ఒక చాలా 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 ముఖ్యమైన ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఎదురైంది, దాని గురించి మాట్లాడితే ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది. So, Brother Vamshi, when he was introducing me, he asked me to share my life experience. This Didi also told that you tell us about what kind of values you have picked from your experiences. And then I was trying to recollect what experiences should I share, which will be of interest, of relevance to everyone. And then it suddenly struck me. Yesterday itself I had participated in an event and there was something very striking in that event. So why don't I start with that? So अभी वंशी ब्रदर ने कहा था, अभी जो दीदी जो इंट्रोडक्टरी रिमार्क्स दे रही थी उन्होंने कहा था, वसंता बेन उन्होंने कहा था कि आप अपने लाइफ के बारे में कुछ बताइए, आपके जीवन में जो कुछ भी घटना घटी है उसके बारे में बताइए। तो हम सोच रहे थे कि कौन सी घटना के बारे में बताएं, इतनी सारी घटनाएं हुई होंगी, किसके बारे में बताने से आपको भी रुचि आएगी, आपको भी इंटरेस्ट होगा। तब एकदम से ध्यान आया कि कल ही तो एक बहुत अच्छे एक प्रोग्राम में हम गए थे और वहाँ पे भी कुछ एक बहुत ही अच्छी चीज़ देखी थी, तो पहले उससे क्यों ना शुरुआत करें। सो व्हाट आई डिड yesterday was, some of you who live in this neighborhood will be aware, there's an institution not very far from here which is called IIIT, International Institute of Information Technology. So they had an event yesterday and they had invited me as the guest for that event. So what was going on there was that they had gathered children who are from classes 6th to 9th from different schools across the country. About 60-70 children were there. There's a particular kind of school called Navodaya Vidyalaya. So Navodaya Vidyalaya, these are not very elite schools. They are kind of government schools, but they follow a very rigorous kind of teaching and education. So 70-80 children from different Navodaya Vidyalayas were there. And for 3 weeks they were at IIIT and they were being taught things like sustainability, climate change, STEM, innovation, entrepreneurship. So this is the summer break in IIIT. The faculty is free, students are away, and they could have accommodated this kind of a program. So yesterday was the valedictory day. So I was called as the chief guest. I gave some speech about climate change and innovation and all that. One or two senior faculty from IIIT was there, the dean was there, someone else was there. Navodaya Vidyalaya director was there. We all spoke. I mean, we could make out that nothing very, I mean, it's not registering that much on the children. You can see from their faces also. Of course, they are polite, they are listening to you, but you can make out that their expressions are kind of dull, nothing is happening. But anyway, we thought whatever we have been called for, just greet them, tell something and kind of make your way. So the function had got over and thereafter the organizers told that some of the IIIT students, about 10 of them, they have volunteered for this program. I mean, while it is a summer break for them, they could have easily gone back to their hometowns, rested or whatever else they wish to have done, they could have done that. But those 10 odd IIIT students, typically in their 3rd year, 4th year, they chose to stay back and spend time with the children. And while we were leaving, one of the organizers said, why don't we give some memento or certificate to these volunteers also? Would you like to stay back and do that? So I immediately agreed. And what happened thereafter was amazing. So the moment one volunteer would be called, the name of that volunteer would be called, there would be so much of excitement in the children. They'll be clapping, shouting, cheering. And of course, it happened for all 10, 12 of them. And then at the end, I told those volunteers that the effort that you put by sacrificing your holiday, your vacation, not being with your parents, not being with your family, this is the reward. That for 2-3 minutes, when your name is getting called, these children are shouting for you, clapping for you. I mean, as chief guest, they just politely clapped. I mean, you could make out that they're clapping out of politeness. Someone else, IIT director spoke, they just kind of clapped out of politeness. But the kind of affection, the kind of regard they showed to you, I mean, this is what it is worth it, spending 20 days here just for this work. So, do I need to translate or is it more or less okay? Okay, because I have been asked to speak for 10 minutes. If I translate in 3 languages, it will become 30 minutes. So I don't want to kind of interrupt your evening plans, your dinner and all that. बट ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. सो ये एक छोटा सा इंसिडेंट है. दिस इज़ नॉट अ वेरी अर्थ शाटरिंग इंसिडेंट. किसी का जीवन इस इंसिडेंट से बदल जाएगा, इस स्थाई का कोई ये बहुत बड़ा इंसिडेंट नहीं है. बट इस तरह के इंसिडेंट के पीछे भी बहुत मतलब छुपा हुआ है कि अगर आप निस्वार्थ, विदाउट एनी एक्सपेक्टेशन, సెల్ఫ్లెస్లీ ఏం ఆశించుకోకుండా మీరు వేరే వాళ్ళ కోసం ఏదైనా చేస్తూ ఉంటే, మీరు ఒక 10% చేస్తే మీకు 100% వెనక్కి వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. And I have tried to live by this philosophy. I don't want to give a whole kind of a life story of myself, but one very important thing which happened in my life was, as he pointed out, I belong to a family of professionals. Both my parents used to work, and they had kind of given me a sense that you are free to choose what you want to do, but whatever you are doing, do justice to it. So looking at, this is all 30 years ago, and looking at all the options that were available there, I felt that joining a business school will do well to me. So I appeared in the business school entrance exams, got selected as was introduced. I went to IAM at Calcutta. But after being there, I realized that this is not my cup of tea. There is too much of self-centered kind of attitudes, too much of rat race. You don't think of the larger issues. You are only looking at how your company makes profit, how do you survive. I felt that kind of mindset to be very, very limiting. And at that stage, when I chose that I will not get into this corporate kind of a job, I had to take a choice of what else can I do. So there were a few other options, but many of us who grow in the north, the civil services is a very kind of a big thing. Everyone is speaking about it, thinking about it. And before joining Calcutta, I was a student at Delhi University. So Delhi also, many of you would be aware, attracts large number of people who prepare for these exams. And I used to see all kinds of people. And many of them, their entire life is immersed in preparing for that exam. In fact, many of them, they grow big beards, they behave like zombies. If you talk to them, they won't even understand who you are, what are you telling. And I was surrounded by all these people. 24/7 they are studying and writing this note, that practice exam, going for this coaching. When I decided that I have to take that exam, I was reasonably sure that I will not be able to stand up to the competition these zombie kind of people will kind of bring, because I am not going to spend my life like this doing nothing else except preparing for that exam. I lead a normal life. I will not join any coaching. In Calcutta where I was, coaching was not also popular, so I could not have even joined a coaching. I decided to study by myself. Calcutta had a great library. IIM had a great library. I made use of that, decided to study on my own, but I was mentally very, very sure that against people who are studying for 5 years, for them this is their life mission, every minute is devoted to this kind of preparation. Obviously, I can't outcompete all of them. But when the results came, it was literally a shock, because not only did I clear in the very first attempt, I was the first ranker in the whole country. So at that time, it kind of appeared to me that obviously this is, it's not that I have descended from heaven. There is something extraordinary about me, and therefore this has happened to me. I thought deeply about this. What is it that is happening in my life? And I felt that it is all happening with a message, with a purpose, that you have to be good to others, you have to help others, you have to be humble, you have to be grounded. And just because you have crossed a milestone, you have joined a service, an elite service, it doesn't mean that you have changed and you demand things are entitled for you. For example, if I go to some function and if I'm not seated on the first row, I take offense and I shout at the organizers. I'm equally okay if I'm seated in the last row as well. So these are some of the things. Many times, as you know, in Hyderabad the weddings happen, and many of you would have attended these weddings. There'll be huge gatherings, thousands of people will be there just to greet the bride and groom. there'll be a queue which will, I mean, if you stand at the end of the queue, your turn will come literally after an hour. But I have never foregone that queue thing. I mean, I can easily walk through the other side door and within 5 minutes greet them and go away. But I chose to remain in the queue, even if it takes an hour, greet them, and then only kind of go. So these are very small things, but these also help you stay grounded, help you understand that whatever happened 30 years ago, it was nothing short of a miracle. And it has happened because God wanted it to be happening in a particular way. There was some purpose behind it. So this is a very simple kind of a message, but it's a value which one can literally be, I mean, you can be conscious of this value, and this can become your guiding principle all throughout. Many times in my, I speak frequently to media and to young people and in this kind of gathering. And they do ask these kind of questions, that what motivates you, what is your kind of, and many of my interviews are there on YouTube, you can look them up. And I mentioned this, that the defining motto of my life is count your blessings. आपको भगवान ने जो दिया है उसके लिए हमेशा शुक्रगुजार रही है. దేవుడు మీకు ఏదైనా వరం ఇచ్చి ఉంటే ఎప్పుడైనా నిరంతరంగా దానికోసం రుణపడి ఉండాలి. అండ్ అట్లాంటి ఆలోచన చాలా గట్టిగా మీ మనసులో నాటబడి ఉంటే ఏ నిమిషంలో కూడా మీరు దాన్ని తప్పించే ప్రయత్నం చేయరు. ఇఫ్ దాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రాంగ్ వాల్యూ ఈజ్ ఇన్గ్రెయిన్డ్ ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్, యూ విల్ నెవర్ ట్రై టు డీవియేట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్. అండ్ this is again something which I found very, very similar with the institution of Brahma Kumaris also. When I was, after getting into the civil services, we spent 1 year training in Mussoorie. We have our training academy, IAS academy in Mussoorie. We spent 1 year. I got selected in 92, so the rest of 92 was spent in Mussoorie. And in 93, we are allotted to different states. So in those days, states were allotted, two ways of allotment used to happen. One was to check whether you would like to work in your home state or not. So I'm from Lucknow, as you would have learned by now. My state in that day, my home state that is, was under terrible turmoil. That in 91 this Babri Masjid incident had happened, Mandal Commission incident had happened. Even the leadership was of a very kind of a dubious kind of a nature. And my father, who was a journalist, he was very, very clear that he felt that I just will not be able to work in these kind of circumstances. And he told me that when this question is asked, whether you would like to work in your state or not, just clearly say no to it, and then let us see what happens. So I mentioned no in that form, and then found out that alphabetically you will be allotted to the state. So because I was the topper, I got to work in Andhra Pradesh, because Andhra Pradesh, and then I came here. Of course, the going has been extremely good for me. I've held good port assignments. I've done lots of very, very satisfying work. Some years of my career, I worked with the poorest of the poor in some of the most backward regions in the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, which also gave me lots of satisfaction. I'm doing different kind of work now, as many of you would know. I look after the subjects of information technology and industries in Telangana government. I'm in this role ever since the day Telangana state was formed, which again is a kind of very unusual in civil services. Normally your assignments change after every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. 4 years is a bonus. 5th year is literally like a record, but I've completed 8 years, 9 years now. So all these things are good, but the incident which comes to my mind is that when I began my career in Andhra Pradesh, my first posting was in Kadapa, and after a year I was posted to Nandyal. And in both these places, these are small places. Some of you may not know where these places are. Kadapa is now in Andhra Pradesh. Nandyal is also now in Andhra Pradesh, in Kurnool district. But I found that in both these places, there was a Brahma Kumari center there. And the sisters of these centers themselves kind of reached out to me. And of course, I had a general awareness that there is a global Brahma Kumaris institution which has its headquarters in Mount Abu, but I was not deeply familiar with what is the philosophy, what is the ideology, what aims do they propagate, and so on. So coincidentally, while I was in Nandyal, the town was also flooded once. There were heavy rains, and there is a local river that got kind of flooded. It damaged some houses, etc. And I found that the Brahma Kumari Center instantly took up relief activities, helping people, distributing food to people whose houses were damaged, giving clothes and other items to them, and that kind of impressed me. And I also then started visiting the two centers which were there. Obviously, they are not as large as the ones which we have here in Hyderabad, but I found a sense of dedication, a sense of discipline behind whatever they are propagating. And since then, 30 years have gone by, but that connection has remained strong. When I came to Hyderabad after completing all my rural postings, my district postings, my first assignment here was in the Urban Development Authority. What is called HMDA now was called HUDA, HUDA back then. And at that time, this center was just established, it was coming up. So the in charges at that time requested me whether they can do some plantation program in this campus. They wanted this to resemble the Mount Abu campus. Mount Abu campus, if you have not been there, is extremely green. There's huge amount of plantation. They wanted the same to be done here, and I, as Huda Vice Chairman, I was responsible for, in any case, doing plantations in the city. So I helped them with greening this campus, and then there would be lots of programs. I would come occasionally. And then after Telangana came and I became the IT secretary, I realized that the location of this center in the middle of the IT corridor is also very important. Some of you who are part of that industry will know this, that while working in an IT company is indeed very satisfying, very interesting, also very financially very beneficial, but it also brings lots of stresses, lots of adjustment issues, etc. And whenever I would visit IT companies, I frequently go to different companies as a part of my work. Many of those company heads actually tell me that they benefit from the presence of this institute. Their employees come here, they understand the value of staying calm, looking at the larger picture. And of course, the center has been in the forefront of helping others, supporting others. So that connection, the values that I feel that I have internalized since my early days, and the values which are supported here, which are propagated in this center, are extremely well aligned, and I always find some opportunity or the other to be a part of their activities. Lots of very good speakers have come here and spoken about all kinds of themes. I have myself been fortunate to visit Mount Abu twice. Once I went to address one of their IT conferences that happened. That was also a very satisfying experience. So I'm very happy that all of you are also a part of this movement. You are in your own way supporting whatever they do, imbibing a part of the key message which for generations they have been propagating, and eventually not only turning yourself into an evolved and a superior human being, but also influencing people around you, your family members, your community. So may the force be with you. May you all remain happy, healthy, flourish, and let the common bond that all of us share because of Shanti Sarovar, that stays strong and remains that unique binding thread between all of us. So మరి ఒకసారి అంత ఆప్యాయతతో ఈ కార్యక్రమం ఏర్పాటు చేసినందుకు నేను బ్రదర్ వంశీ గారికి, సిస్టర్ వసంత గారికి, కుల్దీప్ దీది వారికి, ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి నా హార్దిక్ ధన్యవాదం తెలియపరుస్తూ ఇంతకు విరమిస్తున్నాను.
Thank you very much. All your experiences are, it was like सुनते ही रहे. बहुत सुंदर रीति से आपके लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस, लाइफ चेंजिंग एक्सपीरियंसेस which are examples for day-to-day world. Thank you for sharing those beautiful values of your life, and we cherish them and also try to apply. Yes. क्योंकि आपको ही इतना स्ट्रेस है तो भाई साहब को कितना होता होगा. हाँ आप एक कंपनी में काम करते हैं तो इतने बड़े गवर्नमेंट के अथॉरिटी है। जी जी, दीदी कह रही है भाई साहब के फेस पर एक भी चिन्ह नहीं है वो स्ट्रेस का, टेंशन का, और कितना ग्राउंडेड और कितना हम्बल हम देख ही रहे हैं। तो हमारा भी ऐसा चेहरा और चलन बने, राइट? सो थैंक यू वंस अगेन, वी अपलॉड and bless all the success for your future endeavors also. Thank you. तो आज हम परमात्मा से योग भी जोड़ेंगे और परमात्मा से भी शक्ति लेने के लिए प्रयास करें। 2 मिनट बहुत शांति से प्यार से बैठेंगे। टेक ए डीप ब्रेथ इन एंड जस्ट रिलैक्स। सवेरे से अभी तक बहुत सारे कमिटमेंट्स, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ बहुत अच्छी रीति से आपने निभाया। अभी थोड़े समय के लिए उन सब बातों से अपने आप को डिटैच करके अपने को एक लाइट, एक सितारा who is very pure, very clean, untainted from all the negativities and waste. Just look at yourself as a beautiful star who is very peaceful and happy always. This is what my original identity is. I am a peaceful being. And I see myself being very peaceful, calm and composed in all the endeavors which I am doing whole day. I experience the light, the power of the Supreme. A beautiful, bright, shining light who is showering the rays of peace. Just experience, be in that lightness of peace. I am also receiving the blessing of happiness. पूरे दिन में कितनी भी बातें आए, व्यक्ति, परिस्थिति आए, मैं अपनी खुशी नहीं छोड़ूंगी, क्योंकि ये परमात्मा का देन है। I am a loveful being. I receive God's love, God's light, which is energizing, empowering me. I spread the same love, compassion to everyone around me, at home and at work. Let everyone be happy, peaceful and loving. With these beautiful, powerful thoughts, I experience joy, happiness, and I spread the same vibrations to the global family, all the brothers and sisters of the world. I thank the Supreme for the life which I have received. And I also thank my family, my organization. I also thank the Brahma Kumaris and the vibrations of Shanti Sarovar to make myself a better human being, to create a better world and better family. With these beautiful thoughts, gently open your eyes. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. तो आप आज ये जीवन में लेके जाएंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच. बिफोर वी टेक लीव, आई ऑल्सो रिक्वेस्ट सिस्टर माधवी गारू, प्लीज़. शी इज़ कमिटी चेयरमैन, Women in Business and Entrepreneurship, Telangana Chambers of Commerce and Industry. I also welcome sister onto the stage to receive godly gifts and prasad from God's home. And Sister Madhvi also going to felicitate Brother Jayesh Ranjan Garu.